And thank you so much for joining us on this very busy Tuesday night. I'm Lindsay Davis in for David. We begin with a deadly mass shooting at the 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Illinois. The death toll is growing tonight. At least 7 people killed, more than 30 wounded. Today, authorities are revealing more about the alleged gunman and the plot that they say he'd been planning for weeks. They released this image saying 21-year-old Robert Crimo escaped through the chaos by wearing a wig and dressing in women's clothing, covering his tattoos and blending into the crowd. Crimo was arrested in his mother's car, handcuffed without incident. Authorities reveal how they tracked him down and what they say they found inside that vehicle. The gunman, armed with a high-powered rifle, firing more than 70 rounds into the crowd from the top of the building.
First of all, this individual dresses up like a woman, get on top of a building, armed with an AR-15, and let loose on a mass crowd of people, committing mass murder. Now, mind you, this man was only arrested. But was it the night before? An unarmed black man running from his car, if I'm not mistaken, shot more than 60 times. But this individual only arrested. Fellas, we have more to worry about than to be worrying about these females.
Authorities say they recovered an AR-15 style weapon at the scene. Newly obtained surveillance shows men, women, and children rushing into a store all at once to escape the gunfire. Today, deputies searched the home where he lived with his uncle, where they say they found more handguns inside the house. And late today, the names of the victims were made public, those killed while celebrating America's independence. Still no word on a possible motive. Questions are now being raised after the sheriff said all of the weapons were purchased legally. And new images of the shooting are emerging, and a warning, some of them are disturbing. ABC's Alex Perez is in Highland Park and leads us off.
Tonight, police say the man who unloaded 70 rounds onto an Independence Day crowd, killing 7 and injuring more than 30, planned his attack for weeks and carried out the rampage disguised as a woman.
He brought a high-powered rifle to this parade. He accessed the roof of a business via a fire escape ladder and began opening fire on the innocent Independence Day celebration goers.
Sources telling ABC News investigators are poring over social media posts believed to be from 21-year-old Robert Crimo dating back from over a year ago. One video showing part of the parade route. Minutes after that parade in Highland Park, Illinois, just after 10 a.m. Monday, the cheers turning to screams. Many at first mistaking the gunfire for fireworks. Families running to find safety anywhere they could. Gabriela Martinez says she saw the gunman on the roof.
I was trying to see where it was coming from, and then I looked up at the Ross Cosmetics building, and he was shooting from there.
Mom Abby Brozio was grazed by a bullet, her father-in-law hit in the leg.
My first instinct was, did it hit my child that I'm holding like a rag doll, just running with her, trying to get in, and where is my son?
Brozio running with other families into her husband's store. Her mother-in-law seen here trying to protect her grandchild.
My mother-in-law was crawling into the store over my child, and that was just heart-wrenching to see.
Police say the suspect dressed in disguise so he could blend in with the crowd.
During the attack, Crimo was dressed in women's clothing and...
First of all, let me say something.
It was just heart-wrenching to see.
Police say the suspect...
No one understands something. This individual don't have a mental problem. This is his nature. This was planned for weeks. On top of a building with an AR-15, a planned attack like he's military. And this individual walked away and was only arrested. Black men, you better be paying attention. Don't waste your time with these Cynthia G's and the rest of them idiots. You have more on your plate to worry about.
Dressed in disguise so he could blend in with the crowd.
During the attack, Primo was dressed in women's clothing, and investigators do believe he did this to conceal his facial tattoos and his identity and help him during the escape with the other people who were fleeing the chaos.
New images show the dead covered on the sidewalk while several people tried to save the wounded. Anesthesiologist Dr. Wendy Binstock-Rush doing CPR on an older man who didn't make it.
It was just, unfortunately, he was an elderly gentleman. He had lost way too much blood, and there was no way to bring him back.
5 of the victims died at the scene, 2 at the hospital. More than 30 people were injured, most by gunfire. For hours, this community sheltering in place while teams searched building by building. The rifle left behind leading the ATF directly to Robert Crimo. Police quickly blasting out an alert with a photo of the suspect, the car, and the plate number. About 8 hours after the carnage, police capturing their suspect after a tipster spotted the car.
An alert member of the community saw Primo's vehicle traveling southbound on Route 41, dialed 911.
Officers surrounding the vehicle, taking him into custody after a brief pursuit. Police discovering another rifle in the car. They say all 5 guns he had were legally purchased. Tonight, this community is shattered. Illinois' governor outraged.
Mass shootings have become our weekly, yes, weekly, American tradition. There are going to be people...
A weekly American tradition? By who? People never like to tell the truth.
People who say that today is not the day, that now is not the time to talk about guns. I'm telling you, there is no better day and no better time than right here and right now.
The governor issuing a disaster proclamation today. Alex joins us now from the scene. And Alex, the parents of the suspect are speaking out tonight. What are they saying?
Yeah, Lindsay, they are speaking out, but first I should tell you that as we speak, prosecutors have announced they are charging Crimo with 7 counts of first-degree murder. Now, his parents did release a statement through their attorney, which reads in part, "This is a terrible tragedy. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to everybody." Now, authorities here have told their law enforcement partners that Crimo is talking to them and has indicated through statements that he is responsible for the attack. The prosecutor, Lindsay, saying there could be more charges to come. Lindsay?
Alex, thank you. We're learning more tonight about the victims who had simply ventured out to enjoy a parade, the 7 who were killed, the dozens who survived. A community that was trying to celebrate an American tradition quickly falling victim to the American epidemic of gun violence. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, stunned families